AITA for taking a job my boyfriend hates because our family is struggling financially. I'm 24, and my boyfriend is also 24. We have a baby together, and finances have been really difficult since she was born. For some background, I started working as a stripper when I was 18. When I met my boyfriend, I was still dancing, but eventually I decided I wanted to move into a different career. I left the industry, became an EMT, and was working toward having a more stable career. Then I got pregnant. I worked for as long as I could during my pregnancy, but eventually I had to stop. Since then, I've been out of work and have used most of my savings to help cover our rent, car expenses, bills, and other necessities. We've reached the point where we're falling behind and starting to accumulate debt, which has been stressful for both of us. I've also been struggling emotionally since having the baby, and our relationship has been difficult in other ways too. We've been arguing a lot, and not all of our problems are related to money. Recently, one of my friends started working out of town as a stripper and was making really good money. That got me thinking about returning to dancing temporarily. I knew I could potentially make enough money to significantly help our finances, and I wouldn't necessarily have to put our daughter in daycare. I saw it as a way to contribute financially while figuring out what I wanted to do long term. Before making any decisions, I talked to my boyfriend about it. He was understandably uncomfortable with the idea and told me he didn't want me to go back to stripping. We talked about it several times, and eventually he acknowledged that our financial situation was getting serious. While he still didn't like the idea, he seemed to accept that it might be necessary if it helped us avoid getting further into debt. We went on vacation, and I worked at a club there on Friday and Saturday. Everything seemed fine afterward. We didn't have a major argument, and I thought we'd reached an understanding. A few days later, I worked Wednesday and Thursday. When I came home Thursday, his attitude toward me was completely different. He was distant and wouldn't tell me he loved me. Eventually, he told me that he felt like I'd cheated on him by working at a strip club. Now he's saying that I'm choosing stripping over our family because I don't want to quit and become financially dependent on him again. From my perspective, I'm trying to help support our family and keep us from getting further into debt. I'm not doing this because I care more about dancing than I care about him or our daughter. I understand why he has complicated feelings about my job. I don't expect him to be completely comfortable with it, and I know it's something we need to communicate about. What hurts is being told that I'm choosing stripping over my family when I feel like I'm actually trying to help our family financially. I'm also starting to wonder whether this argument is really just about the job. We've had a lot of problems since having our daughter, and we've both been under a lot of stress. I'm worried that this situation could eventually lead to us breaking up. I don't want that, but I also don't know what the right answer is. I want to contribute financially, avoid putting our family further into debt, and still be present for our daughter. I just wish we could talk about the situation without either of us feeling like we're being forced to choose between our relationship and our financial stability.